Okay, how are we doing here? Well, this is going to be a little seminar on how to capture data from Excel and make maps out of it in BatchGeo. So I have this spreadsheet, and Brian, you will be familiar with this because you input these zip codes. That's the last piece of information that I needed. Generally, when you're making a map, it's best if you have the address, the city. Oh, I don't have the state. I need the state and the zip. So I'm just going to insert a column here. Since I forgot this, it's all PA. Right, so we'll just copy this down. And the reason for that is this program takes all of the addresses individually and it geocodes them, whatever that is. I highlighted this for you. Don't need this now. I'm just going to do it. I have... Oops, I didn't sort it. I wanted to sort this, and I'm not going to ask you to do this right now, but you might as well watch. You can sort data in Excel, as I'm sure you know, and if you select a range, it will sort just the range, but if you just select the first field in the spreadsheet, you can go to Data Sort, and I've sorted this before. Oh, I don't want to do that. See, it is. Okay, let's just go to Data Sort. And I want to sort it by date. I want the oldest to be first. So you'll see, I just moved this one that was at the bottom, moved it up to the top. I tend to get picky with this. I want to have the street, road, or avenue, or whatever it might be. It just makes it easier when Google is basically geocoding these. So make sure everything's got the street. Okay. We've got all that. I have some data in here that I'm not going to map. In other words, these columns I'm just going to ignore. But when I map the data, I'm going to select the data set that I want and take it over, copy it, take it over to BatchGeo, and paste it. Then I'll set the options, and I'll show you how to do that. So for this, I want all the addresses. I want the zips. Oh, I also want the date. So I just want this range here. Command copy. Let's go to BatchGeo. I've got a bunch of things open here as usual. Let's just go to Batch. Now I set you up, Brian, as a as part of the team. I think you're in here. I think you're. Let's see. Let me just check the users. Yeah, you're in here. I'm not sure if you've ever come in here or not, but anyway, let's make a map. This is the first page you're going to see. All you do is you click on it and you just Command V. You paste the data, which I just done. From that, you validate and set options. Now here's where you get the opportunity to sort of play around with things. So you've got options. I generally don't mess with any of this. This is all just basic information, except if I want to group them. I don't know that I really want to. You got to put some thought into here, and this is, you might not have this right off the bat, but you might need to put some thought into this. And it's, by the way, after you create the map, you can always change this. But I think in this particular case, I'm going to group them by zip code. Okay. Then I'm going to show the advanced options. I'm not sure there's going to be anything I really do here, other than in the title, I just might put the address. It's really not a big deal at all. You'll see that when I put the address, came up with the address. If I take that off, I still have the address. So it's kind of redundant. I'll leave it off. Okay. There's options to make different colors for the different. Okay, so what I've set as being the thematic code here, this group by thematic code. When you do that, it will give you different options here. So let's say, for example, I set by city. Well, I'm really going to have one city, and I can make this marker a different color. So when I thematically code it by zip code, if I wanted to, I could make each zip code, well, it automatically makes each zip code a different color, so it's easier to see on the map. Okay, easy enough. I'm going to make the map from there. It'll do this little geocoding function, and and then it's done. I'm just going to get back to Excel just for a second. I have 48 lines minus the top is 47. This thing just geocoded 47 records, so nice. It geocoded all the addresses we put in there. From here, you can you do have some options to change these options if you want. And if everything's looking good for you and that's the way you want it, you just save and continue. And then I'll put a title here. I think this was essay, what do I call this? I usually call it the same as the spreadsheet. Essay Blight Experience. Okay. That's really it. There's some options here. I'm just saving these to my subscription users, which is you and Terry right now. I don't really put a password on it. So I save the map, and there it is. I can view the saved map. Now, when I look at this map, you can look at it. You could play around with it. You'll see that each of the zip codes has its own sort of color here, which is fine, which is not bad at all. That's what I wanted. There's some other options you can zoom in, of course, and take a look at things, and it's got nice little pictures that pop up. There's other options too. If I wanted to see the actual data, you can click on this data view, and that has all the addresses and all the data that's in the map. Since it's in the map, I don't really need it right now, but that's just something you can do. You can go in here and do heat mode. You can play around with it and see. I don't even know what that does. If you have any, oh, there you go. So it creates like a heat map. Big deal. Right. I guess there's reasons for that, but it doesn't serve me very well. Anyway, that's really kind of it. There's, sort of other things. Cluster view will basically, as you zoom out, it'll show these zip codes in a cluster and put the number of how many, are clustered together. So, 8 here and 13 here. It's just data. different ways to interpret the data. So that's it. You've created the map, or I have. I've shown you how to do it. And the maps can be created from any data set. So in this case, I'm just capturing all the experience that I've had over the last, it looks like 13 years. And so I want to be able to document this for a study that I'm doing. So that is how to create a map from Excel into BatchGeo, and I'm sure I'll be having you use this in the future. Okay, that's it. Me signing off for now. Talk to you soon.